Hey everybody. Hope you all had a great Christmas. Just want to let you know it's chilly here, so I had to get myself all warmed up and bundled up so that I can do this for you today. So we just here today to start part 2 of our series on the poster. And one thing I want to just say up front is, and we're going to talk about it a couple times today, but we've been working on this for 6 months. And you guys have given us a lot of great ideas. Ideas come and flow quite frequently, and sometimes ideas come from different places. And a lot of what we do is we build the processes to make things easier for maybe somebody else's ideas. And so, a lot of what we've done in different places and some of the things we're about to do, I just want to make sure that we give, the appropriate credit to the guys at Semantic Mastery, Marco and Bradley and Adam and Chris and the rest of those guys. They're really brilliant when it comes to doing the research and finding out what works and teaching through their system of how to do it manually. And some of it's not manual, but 90% of what we do we've created, and 10% of what we do comes from other sources. And so I just want to give a shout out to the guys at Semantic Mastery for, really being the nerds, if you will, to dig in and do the training to see what works. And for some of you that donated to Marco's charity and you were able to be on the other 2 webinars, you know that what their stuff does and how they do it works. And so we're going to be trying to work with them, and even within some of the stuff that we have right now, create some of these stacks, okay, some further stacks along the way. Henrik will get into that a little bit later in terms of what we're doing with the siloing, but I just wanted to give that as a shout out right now. So let me ask you a question. How many of you guys are participating in any of the Semantic Mastery stuff? Just give me a 1 if you are, or 2 if you're not. I'm just curious. Yeah, Keith and David, Rusty, Clint. Yeah, I know Clint is. Joe. Okay, cool. So we have a bit of a mixture right now, right? So, between what they teach and what we do, if you are with them, and either way, it doesn't matter. I'm just curious, but I just want everybody to know that, there's collaborative environments that are going on. And I think what we're going to be building out, in the future, collaborating, with them is going to really knock your socks off. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and dig right into part 2 of the mega poster. And Heinrich is going to go through the second module. We're going to try to keep it a little tighter today. We got a little bit of feedback last time that what we did and what we shared was awesome, but some people were confused, and we want to try to not be too confusing with all that today. So we're going to try to keep it tight. Keep your questions right now, specifically to what we're going to be talking about. And then afterwards, a handful of you filled out the questionnaire, which I'm kind of disappointed that most of you didn't fill it out, because I know that you're not fully understanding this, but I do understand that sometimes we just don't know how to ask the right questions. So we're going to go ahead and dig into that, and I'm going to turn it over to Henrik.
Hey guys, hopefully you have had some good holidays and a nice Christmas, and we are ready to rock and roll again. And in today's session, if I can get Patrick away from my screen here, what we're going to go over is a quick overview of the poster again, and then I will make a practical walkthrough on how to use the spinboard for creating several posts in the What's New post. So what we're going to do is we're going to prepare our post. Then I'll use the translation keyword tool to create some spin tags. I'll take that spin tags, paste it into our spinboard, and I will use the spinboard to create our scheduled post. and then I will add an image and optimize the image in the image tab, and then I will go and pick some directions which I want to put into the different posts. So that's basically what we are gonna focus on today.
Cool. Let's rock it.
Yeah. So I have opened the Maker Poster, and as you recall, there is sorry, where did I do it? When we deal with the poster, you have the brand, which is actually your Gmail account, and for each Gmail account, you have a location attached to the Gmail account. And some of you haven't had the basic idea that all the locations for this particularly Gmail account or brand, which is called Henrik Hansen, will be listed in here. So if I swap the account, I will get a possibility to list other accounts here. So just a check here. So if I'm going up here, you see I can take a new account. Now it will query the API, and it will list those GMBs which is attached to this account. It will take a second, so you have to be patient. And now you can see I have several other Gmail accounts which I can use. So you swap simply the account up here. It will query the API, return what we need, and we can choose whatever we want to post from up here. Okay, I have chosen this account. I want to create a bunch of posts, and what I want to do is I want to schedule the post. So in What's New, I will take a tool which you should be familiar with, which is the Keyword Translation Factory. I have taken a few cities which I want to use in my little spin text. And I have written a small post down here. So when I have inserted the keywords in the spinner, I'll just hit the make spin text, and you will be able to see down here, it has created this spin text for me here. So I'll copy all that and go back into my spin board. So I'll move this again. I'll go over here, choose the spin board. I will paste in the information here. So here is the spin text that I have. And if I click the spin button up here, it will create the first post. When I click this one, send to What's New, you will see that it has inserted the information in the post here. I could have chosen to get from the spin board. That will do the same for me. If I know that I have something I have already prepared, I can use that. And then for this post, I will create a new silo, and I have to give credit for the siloing part of this Maker Poster to Marco from Semantic Mastery. It was him who came up with the idea of siloing posts. So all credit for this go to Marco. I hope that you will pay a visit to Semantic Mastery and see what these guys are teaching, because this is hot stuff that you're learning over there. I'll put in a new silo.
What is the importance of the OL dash?
I'll add a URL where I want this to go to in the first place. So I could choose to let it go to the money site.
Okay.
And I could add a button, learn more. For those who have been playing around with it, there has been a request for us to maybe not use the bottoms as the trigger for the silo. So what we'll be doing in the future is that we will have the URL going into the post in itself and reserve the buttons for call to actions. So that's hopefully something which will be finished in the beginning of next week.
Then one question. Wait a minute, Heinrich. Can you hear me?
Go in and find one. And let's see. We'll go into,
can you hear me?
Melbourne. I will take.
Why can't you hear me?
This one because I haven't optimized this one. So I have prepared the post. It's ready, except from I need a few little things to check, and that's the first part here. Have I optimized this? Unfortunately, I had, so I chosen the wrong one. But normally, what I will do is to put in all my keywords in here. So I will go up here, paste that into it, and you can see with just one go, I'll paste more keywords into the image. I will be able to fill out title, order. In the comment section, you can put in an article if you like, description of the GMB that you're trying to promote. You can put in links. You can put whatever you want into it. So fill in all the blanks that you need. I could put in here again.
Ira, can you hear me?
This one. I'll put in copyright notice.
Why can't you hear me? Nobody else can hear me.
And click apply. So let's go and take a look at the post. And the first one I got return is this little town. So if I go back to my spinboard up here, you can see that it took Rockledge from the spin text. So I will go to my next step. That will be to put in my geo data into the post. So I want to put that into the post here. So I go to my Google Maps. Because I have chosen Ocean's Landing up here, so I'll just go up here. Because I chose Ocean's Landing up there, I have the full address for the GMB inserted here. So you don't need to put anything in there. You don't need to put anything in there. I've seen a lot of you guys are trying to type in information, but you don't need to do that. So I want directions from our little town, so I will put in that. And we just need a little state code here as well. So I will generate that routing direction. And in a second, it will fill in all the map data. You have to be a little bit patient here because the system is going to query the Maps API each time. It's not something that happens locally on your computer. So I want to copy all the map data. So I'm just right-clicking and copy. And it has now copied all the data, which I'll put into the post here. Sorry, I didn't copy that. I'll go back again.
Henrik, can you hear me? Henrik?
Go back, put it in here. So this post is ready for me. So I will go up and schedule the post. So I'll schedule it onto the 30th at 5 p.m. That's okay. And I will go up here and I'll click Add Post. It will now post to the schedule part of the software and we'll keep it. So now it has been posted to the schedule post and we will see it up here in just a second. What you should notice here is that we have a lot of posts where we have a date time error. And the date time error occurs when your computer is not running whilst the scheduler is trying to post to the GMB. So you get a date time error. So if you have that, you will have to reschedule your post, i.e. you will select the post, select the post, and you will choose a new time and date for the post to be fired. Going back to my what's new, I'll go back to the spin board. I'll spin the text once again. And now you can see I have a new post here. So I'll send that to the what's new post. Comes over here. You can see it already inserted it in there. I can use an existing photo because I already uploaded one. This one. So I'll reuse that. I'll go down. I'll go back to my Google Maps. The driving directions I want to change. I'll generate the driving directions. And it will come back with all the map data, which I will copy again. And going back to my what's new post, insert it in. This time I want to put it into the silo which I created before. So this one bill was called OL Towns. And as you can see, it gets the last link as it will put in there. And I'll just add a call to action here, which will be learn more. Again, schedule it. So I'll schedule it to New Year's Eve at 5:41. And I'll add that. So I'll continue. Hit the next one. Do the same thing. This time, just for you to see that I can get it from the spin board and here. So when you click this button, it will take whatever is on the right side over here. So it'll take the full post that you have created. Go back. Generate the driving directions. Clear the Maps API. Get the information. Copy that. Put that into the post. Add a silo name. Add a button. Learn more. Use the same image. We should come up in a second. Schedule it. 1st of January and add it to the post.
Henrik, are you there?
So this can actually
He's got me muted, guys.
save you a lot of time. You can see that they have been added to my scheduled post. The last one came. And now I just have to make sure that my computer is open when these are supposed to schedule. So that it has to be on these times. So normally you will leave it on your VPS where you have no problem. If you're using your laptop, you have to make sure that the computer is opened. If I go to GMB URLs and hit get live post for links, these links would not include the posted links because we can only get the links from the scheduled posts when they're posted to the GMB. And because they're not posted at the moment, yeah.
You can't hear me on the webinar. I keep asking questions, but you're not listening.
I can't hear you. That's the reason.
Well, I don't know, but everybody else can hear me, just not you. Maybe your headphones are off, or you're unplugged, or you muted me, or something. I know we were arguing before. You might have not liked me anymore, but I can't help it.
So nobody heard what I'm saying. Is that what you're saying?
No, we can hear perfectly what you're saying. You can't hear me or anybody else that wants to talk to you.
Okay. Strange.
Yeah. So I've been trying to ask questions, but you're just keep on
away. Okay, I can leave Skype open so we can take them that way.
Okay, no I'll just mute myself. I'll just open questions when I want to then, okay? I'll mute.
Okay. Sorry about that, Patrick. But I hope that you could hear what I was saying while I was doing these posts and can see the benefit of using the keyword translation tool to create your spin tags and easily create a lot of posts. So just to repeat what I did, I took all the towns in my little county, used them to spin a little post. And that little post is what you're seeing here. I copied that into my spin board over here. And I start spinning each individual post. So in this instance, I think I have roughly 10 posts that I have to post in this way, but I won't do that on the webinar here. But you get the idea how you can use the spin board now to create a lot of posts quickly. And that could go into an event. If you like to get it from a spin board, you can actually draw it into the event, just hitting get from spin board button. So
okay, here's a question.
Yeah.
Map data function placed inside the paste area to eliminate that. Oh, I just lost it. To eliminate that process. In other words, could you maybe get the generate map data function placed inside the paste area to eliminate that step each time is the question. No, we can't hear you. Hello?
Hi there, this is Patrick.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, this is Haley calling with the Extend Green. We just had to put some call to confirm our onboarding call for tomorrow at 2:15. Is that still going to work for you?
Yes. I'm on a webinar right now.
I apologize, what was that?
I'm on a webinar right now. I can't talk, but yes, that's fine.
Oh,
All of a sudden, I can't hear you.
Hey, Patrick.
Yeah.
He's showing muted. Let me see if I can unmute him and figure out how to.
Henrik, you muted yourself on the webinar, bud. Unmute.
Yeah.
There you go. Now you're cool.
Okay. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
So, did you hear my question?
There was a lot of echo. I understood a little bit. It was regarding map data. Is that correct?
Yeah. Could you maybe get the generate map data function placed inside the paste area to eliminate that step each time? That was the question.
That's something we are looking into. We haven't. You see, if you go back to this one will actually copy into the clipboard. We could create a bottom here which will put that into, but where do you put it? Do you put it into what's new event or your offer, your product? That's the question.
Okay.
But we could make one that copied to the clipboard, or we could make one here saying getting from map data. I think that would maybe be a good idea. So like the get from Spinboard, we have a one called get map data.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem as I see is whether you can remember, did you hit the generate button, or is that the previous post map data that you're getting, right?
Yeah, that could maybe be something Chris could add in there as a reminder function, as a question pop up.
Yeah.
Possibly. Yeah, so that possibly could do something to eliminate a step and cause not to create too much confusion. Thanks, Tony. Cool. Okay. Now that we can hear each other for whatever reason, is there any other questions in this particular area or sequence that Heinrich just went through? Do you understand it? Is it confusing? Do we need to go through it step by step again? Tell me what you're thinking. Could you maybe generate? Yeah, okay, that's fine. Any questions about any one of these processes so far? But we don't want to jump too far ahead. So if we turn this off right now, you guys can go back and do this, right? Yes? Name of the spin text program. You're talking about keyword translation factory.com? Yep, I'll put that in here. And guess who owns this?
I don't know.
No prizes, but there is a free portion of this, and what Henrik just showed you is part of the free portion. Yes, Anthony, you are correct. Gary and I own it, and Leon as well helped put that together. A lot of his brain power went into that. Does the Spinboard content save yet?
Was that a question? Sorry.
Yes. Does Spinboard content save yet?
Nope. When you close up here, it doesn't save the text which is put into this one here.
Okay. Will it save, or not something we're working on?
Is there a need for it? That's the question.
Well, I guess the question is, does Spinboard content save yet? Which means, are we going to save it? And apparently, the answer is no.
Yeah.
Okay. Could we save it if we wanted to?
I think if you should consider the freshness factor for your GMB, of course you can spin an article into the endless, but this program is actually developed for more for clients posting than just for, let's say, doing your own lead gen or whatever. So hopefully there will come new fresh content all the time, which you maybe will spin a little bit to give it a twist.
Okay.
So I don't see a particular need for saving the spin text, but
I mean, you could
if
just say,
if the demand is there, then we can consider doing it.
but save it to a text file. Put it on your notepad, plus plus. Clint wants to know, and you and I have chatted about this at great length. With the images, if he already has optimized all of his EXIF data, when he brings that in here, does that software, i.e. our software, overwrite it if I leave that information blank in the image tabs?
No, we don't override anything. So if you have an image which is already optimized and you upload it to the posts part of it, Google will retain the metadata that's put into it. But as far as I know, if you upload it into one of the categories here, they'll strip it out. Or they read it, but it seems that they're stripping it out, because if you go into the GMB dashboard and look at the pictures and look at on the albums, you won't see any metadata other than just the file name, title of it. But the question is, we don't override anything.
Okay. However, let me ask you this question, right? If you bring an image in that has data in it, will it show you in that field?
It comes here.
Yep.
I have taken another one. This one.
Yep.
When I go to image, it has all the information in there which I put into it, or which has been inserted into it, right? So if you use GeoSeta or whatever to optimize it, that will retain that data.
And it'll also tell you what fields are blank that you can add more data to, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
So, Clint, I think the answer is whatever you've optimized for will come in. And then based upon how we've set this up, there are blank fields now that you can add more data to if you would like to. Does that help make more sense? Does everybody get that? So if you don't optimize your image at all, this gives you all the fields in which you can optimize. If you optimize it in some fashion or great fashion, bringing that image in here will retain that data, and it will also, as you go through the various, tabs like keywords, credits, origin, copyright. Oh, go to the copyright. I've got a test question. Okay, under the copyright notice, you see that little box up there that says mark as copyrighted?
Yep.
So how many of you guys think you should mark it as copyrighted or mark it as leave it blank? Just give me a 1 for copyright, 2 for blank. I got a 2, 2, a 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay. So the guys that are saying 1 copyright, give me the reason why you want it copyrighted. And for some of you guys that are 2 don't copyright, tell me why. I'm curious to know. So, okay. So for the guys that are 2, Google will not strip the copyright. That's true, but why do you want it copyrighted in the first place is the question, right? Okay, so let me read some of the answers for why you don't want to copyright it. people will get it and share it, and your information will get more views so that others can share it and help you rank the image. People can share the images freely without having to worry about copyright infringements. Better for shares. These days, copyright is implied by the law. Okay. Has the XF data, metadata, and everybody else is sharing your image, right? So depending upon image link building, Clint, exactly. So for the most part, with what we're doing here, if you want to take that image, right, and you put it on a blog, you put it on social media, whatever. If you optimize your image and it's generic enough to some degree, think about this. If you take just a stop sign as an image, and you optimize that stop sign for Ocean's Landing in the back, and you put that stop sign and it's on Google Images, and it's the #1 stop sign because you've optimized it, and when they go to stop sign, they see the first stop sign image in Google Images. They pick it because it doesn't have any watermarks, it doesn't have any problems, it's not copyrighted, and it's completely free to share. When they share that stop sign, guess whose data behind that stop sign is also going to get shared wherever that can be picked up, right? So, all of these answers are great, and I think, Clint really kind of has it, image link building. So as you put your data out there and other people go grab images, because obviously everybody's trying to steal images or use images that are relevant to their business. So if you create great images for your business, like great images for a plumber, right? And you optimize the bloody banana peels out of it, somebody uses that image and puts it on their site, where's all that metadata going to point to? Right? It's going to point back to you. It's going to point back to you, the author. It's going to point back to you, the URL that you put behind the scenes. Does everybody understand why, although that is there, we would highly recommend that you don't use that? Right? Does that make sense? I thought it made perfect sense to me, and then someone kind of told me that they disagreed, and we had a discussion about it, and I won them over. Damn it. I won. So just keep that in mind no matter what you're doing. Even if you don't have an image optimizing tool, which I keep telling you we're going to release ours soon, and we're just finishing the testing, you could come into here and optimize your image and save it, and you've got all this data, baby. You've got all of it. Okay?
Hey, Patrick, I got a question for you that I was posed to me this morning that kind of may throw everybody a curve. The question is this: if you added spin text to the image optimization, would Google bots read it, and would they assign any value, or would they punish you for it?
They're not going to punish you at all for it. They're just going to read it.
That would be my answer, but
yeah.
Would it read the spin text?
Yeah, reads it all. The spin text isn't in there because the spin text has already been created to create the text from the spin text. So there's no spin text in your image.
Well, that's not his question in this case. He's actually going to paste spin text into.
No, I would never do that. You don't.
I would agree.
Yeah. He's talking about putting spin text into the comments, or where?
Yeah. I would think the comments.
No.
It would seem a rather silly way to do it.
No, don't do that. That's not a good idea because, it's spin text. No. And Clint, I'll be quiet. Clint says I'll probably talk him to death, so that's why I won the battle. So, but in any case, you create the spin text, which puts the data in there already spun, and therefore you don't need spin text. It'll just kill it. I agree with Albert here.
I tried to put an iframe into the comments section, but it didn't swallow that.
There you go. Same thing, right? All right, cool.
More questions?
My question about that. So you could go back to the other buttons now. So let's do this. you've gone through each of the modules, reviews, URLs, post by account.
We're missing this one.
All right, let's do that one. This is kind of new. I don't know that this was in the original, right?
No, it's a new little feature that we have put in. So if you have an RSS feed, you can go up here, put in the feed URL, get content from feed, and bingo, it will draw in the feed where you will have text over here, so you can see, okay, what's this about? Something I can curate. So I think I will send this to a watch new post, and now you can see it's over here, and you can elaborate on it and give you a twist to it, i.e. you curate from other sources. So it's just a plain vanilla RSS feeds URL you're putting in here.
Okay.
That we did that because somebody wanted to have a possibility to get some ideas from.
They're looking for content ideas to post, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we brought it in as a simple idea generator for what you can post. You know, based on your whatever your topic is, or that you go find RSS feeds through any of the RSS feed curators, right?
Yeah.
So, what are your guys' thoughts about this? Is this powerful, or is it just another toy we put in there that's not going to be very useful? What do you think? Just post straight from the feed. Could do that if you're cool with that. Cool. It's huge. I will use it. That's what I like, David. I will use it. Main reason I brought it in, says Clint. Post. Okay, cool. So the other thing is, I guess, is you could take that content if you wanted to and put it into a spinner and spin it and put it back in there if you wanted to, but not necessarily needed. But it is a great time saver, Mark, or Steve, to bring in some content, right? So that's a good little thing, and it's simple.
But it was an idea from the group. I think it was Reggie and Clint that was discussing RSS possibilities, and now you got it, guys. So.
All right. Well, I guess here's a question: if Google's already crawling RSS via the site, why reuse it? Well, this content is coming from other sites into our site so that we can use it, so that we can post it, and it's an idea generator for the content to post on your GMB. That's why we use it, right? Great for getting content from the client's blog, Carolyn says, right? So if you're going to put content out on a blog and you get the RSS feed for that, you put that RSS feed in here, then it's pretty easy to bring that in. RSS feed from, oh, this is cool. How about RSS feed from our GMB? That our is capitalized. Post would be awesome. So that's a question, I guess.
We are looking into that to generate a feed from our posts.
So RSS feeds.
We're talking, going outside rather than going in.
Okay. It's never duplicate content. It's an RSS feed. Does it give the attributes?
Give attributes to where you have the source from. There's no problem in taking any content.
Okay.
Like I showed you before, I'll just take this.
Oh, Steve, I love it.
I'll send this post here to my spin board here. Okay. If I'm going to post this now and I check the blogger after the post, I will have a post now live, but see, when I post it now, you can see it gives up here, create a prepared post for the blogger model, or should do it. Here it goes. And at the bottom, you will see the credit down here posted via, i.e. our GMB. And then you go up and give it a title. You put in your additional iframes. You will substitute this maybe for more proper tags, but here is a lot of keyword stuffed into, which will become tags on your blogger. And then you go up and then you just create the post and post it to your blogger.
Have you guys used this part before? Because this is really retarded.
You of course have a ring, a 5 ring or whatever attached to your blogger, so everything will be syndicated out. So the more links that you stuff into your post, the better. So you post to your inner pages of your website, your money site, and optimize the post further more than you could in the GMB post, where you're limited to the amount of text that you can put into it. But here you can actually add to the post if you like. You can save it for later use if you don't want to post it now, and then you can reload the post. So if I click save here, I need a title first. So I need a blog to post it to. That's my business. That's okay. I save it. And when it's saved, I can go and load it again from my computer, and I will have, I think it's this one up here, right? So I can load it again.
Yeah, Clint's saying you can embed your driving directions map on there too.
Yep, that's, I tried to stuff it with iframes if I can.
Right.
So I put in driving directions, calendars, whatever I can stuff into it.
So I know that's an easy statement, but how would you show somebody how to stuff it? Iframe your money site, iframe your driving directions, iframe everything. So how would you go about doing that?
Well, that's something we will go into detail in a later model, but let's say if you create a calendar from here, you will take that calendar and you will embed that into your...
See that little button right there he's using, guys?
Your blog. So this code indication up here gives you the ability to go into the HTML and insert your iframes into the blog post that you're creating. And we have also another model which is called an iframe generator that will give you the code that you have to stuff into that one if you don't have the embed code. But you will also, of course, embed your YouTube videos, etc., into the blogger post. So going back to the schedule post, it will show me the post that I have had here. If I need to tidy this up a little bit, I can go up and then I can remove the selected ones that haven't. That was just some test posts I did, so I'll remove those. And it will update in a second.
Daw says we need to make it a giant Google bomb. Splat.
So just to repeat, if you see a daytime error, that's because at the time when it was supposed to post, it didn't recognize as being opened, and if it's open later after the post has been settled to fire, it will create this date and time error. We can't post into the past, and that's why it come up with this error. And you will simply have to correct it simply by going editing the post, edit the selected post, and then you go up and update the post and post it into the future. And then you hit the update post. So it's fairly straightforward having the scheduled overview here. This location I've chosen here, if I click post by account, it will show me all the posts that are made by this particular account. And if I choose another one up here, this one, it will show whatever post when it's updated that are made for that particular account.
Heinrich, one of the things that Keith was saying is that the keyword separated by comma has a 200 character limit, according to what he ran into.
For the blogger?
Yeah, on the blogger. We may want to check that.
Yeah. But this is...
You got way more than 200 there.
Yeah. But if you... What it has done here is actually taken the keyword from the image and stuffed it up here. So we will make a note, Keith, and check the limits. And then if it's limited to 100, then we'll put in a warning that you have more than 100 characters in the field. Does that make sense?
Yep. Joe was saying something, and I'm not sure that I understand it, but somebody else might. Add a paragraph before the feed, and we're going back to the last thing that you did, and post it as a post. If you're using business.site, it's adding content to it every time.
Yeah. But all posts that we are making is adding content to our what we call business website, the one page of website that is coming GMB along with the GMB. Let me just show you what I mean.
While you're doing that, let me. Terry had a great idea. Iframe your money page into the sidebar widget on your blogger.
Yep.
Does everybody understand that? On the sidebar widget on your blogger, just iframe your money page in there. That's Albert. It's got to be something on your side on your bandwidth, bud, because everybody else isn't having any trouble. Just FYI. Okay, Tim's asking, can we get the link to the step-by-step doc again? We don't really.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, we can put that in there.
That's in the group. But here you see the one pager where you can see the information that we see publicly from the one page GMB website. So here where it says updates, that's all the updates that goes into that has been posted. So you're actually expanding the content on the business website for the GMB, and normally it's limited to 1,500 words in the text. So when you are working in the actual, you see the text that's coming here, it's limited to 1,500 words. That's the maximum. But you can override that by continuously pumping in posts, which will be treated as inner pages. And if you take a look at up here, you have a section which is called services in your
Site.
dashboards in here. So if you go into info, and you go down to this little section called services, there you can see you can add sections, and then you simply stuff it with your keyword optimized text. So all the services that you can think of, you will stuff in here. Let me go back to the poster.
Wait a second. One quick thing from Terry.
Yeah.
It says, everyone be aware that when you first create this business site, you have the option to rename it. So you can put keywords into the renaming of the site. So you can actually optimize it for whatever keyword you want.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
So
here's a question that I think some people might have.
Yeah, but this is the text that he's talking about.
Right.
So whenever you create it first time, it's there. You will stuff as much as possible into it.
So, answer this question: is there, and if yes, what is the benefit of creating the business site?
What is the benefit?
Yeah.
Well, you get another Google property where you act from. So if you have a business website with a lot of links back to your money sites, where are they coming from?
Mm-hmm.
That's a question. Where it's coming from? It's coming from a Google property.
Right.
So why wouldn't you make a one-page business website, and you can even get it to rank if you like?
Well, you can take RFR and bang the crap out of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think
most
if you
people
think
do.
of everything as a gear, all of these things work together, and like Steve says, you just do things moderately and caution. What's RFR? RFR is Ranking Factory Revolution. Sorry, Rick. That's our other software that we use. But if you look at everything that we're talking about here, the website, the posting, the image, it's like a gear, and everything works together. And then, if you have a GMB website, whether you have RFR or anything else, you can use external links to beef up the linking of that site. So it's just another way to get more juice.
More questions?
I find GMB ranks quicker when the business site is the website of your GMB. Then once in the 3-pack, I put the actual site as the one in the GMB. Everybody get that?
I'll show it. So what he says is that he will put down here, instead of having the money site here, he puts in this one down here, which is the business website. So you'll take this one, put it up here instead of. So that's what you're saying.
Yep. And then Clint kind of goes one step further with it, or just as an addition, link your website in the GMB site, boost that up with links, and rank both.
Yeah.
So, you know, it really kind of gives you that extra boost by doing it that way as well.
Yeah. This code that's in here is actually because it's connected to the Search Console. So I have an opportunity to track what comes from the GMB. Well, when people are clicking from the GMB, I will know that the traffic is coming from the GMB. So you can put in these UTM codes, as it's called, into your after the / in the extension. You put a question mark, and then you put the code instead. You can look it up on the net. It's several videos that show you how to do that.
Joe's got a good point here, Heinrich, too. It says business site will help the GMB index within hours, where it can take a few days without it. So, you know, that's something that we could check and test and so forth. But yeah, indexing is a big issue. So
that's correct. I will say, when you're optimizing your GMB, when you create it, you will optimize it to the max, which means that you will fill in all the various information that you have to fill in. You do the business website, you will optimize that. We'll come back to that in a different course, but we'll go through it. Let me go back to the poster. Look at let's just clear this one. So the GMB URLs up here. Can I get that work? Just a second. So you have the live links, you have the media links, you have the last 5 review links, and all these links you can send directly to Sheets or send it to the links indexer. So let's go in here and say get live post.
This is pretty cool, guys. And there's some people here today that are kind of watching and listening, because I've invited a number of people here. So not everybody is using this, but you know, just kind of gleaning ideas for what they're doing in their business. But this is a home run, what he's going to share with you right here. And you can do this manually too, by the way. Who'd want to?
The problem is that I have a small connection problem, because when I cleared this one up here,
just close it and restart it.
Close the poster and go back. Get live links.
What's it say on the bottom?
Finish loading. Schedule post.
Shut your.
Just shut it down.
Yeah. There you go. Just start it over. Yeah, Mark, we're going to go ahead and show insights in a little bit when we get to the end of this. On the blogger, on scheduled post, will the blogger post sit there as a draft until I make it?
No, not on the schedule post. But schedule post is only the GMB. But
Right.
you saw before that I was saving the blogger post. So if you want not to, let's say, post immediately, you can save that post and post it afterwards. And you can also see here, the blogger only works after post now.
Right. So we eliminated that confusion.
It's just querying the GMB API. So it all depends on your connection. And I think that's GoToWebinar and starting stealing mine. That's why it's a little bit slow.
Well, you live in a foreign country too, so that doesn't help.
Oh, come on. We have the most sophisticated IT highway.
Oh, you gotta get you every now and then. This is kind of like a really thought-provoking idea that only a genius would think of, right? So Tony says this: as with anything Google, if they take the time to put it there, there is generally a reason and a benefit to use it. I mean, is that insightful, or that's like guru thinking to me? Most people would not understand that concept.
Just before I forget it, in the posts by account section, where it lists all the posts, we have the ability to go in and export all the posts into a CSV file. So if you need proof to your client what you have been doing, you will be able to export all the posts, the date that have been posted, the silo names, the summary, into a CSV file and use that as insights to what has been going on your activity for this GMB. So when you have a client, you can present with that.
And that kind of brings up a great point. And I don't know, I guess maybe Rusty's got a cold or taking cough medicine or something because he's not saying anything. But one of the things that he and I chatted about before with Lisa, in what she does, is exactly this. You have all the data here. So when someone asks you, what did you do for my money? All you have to do is copy this and start sending it to them, and then they just shut up and don't ask you anymore. And then if you use the link grabber as well within Ranking Factory, or if you have it separately, now you've got all of those links like you're seeing here that you can pull up directly from your Google Drive and give them all the links to the images, to the sheets, to everything, the YouTube variants. It just over inundates them with data.
So
they just leave you alone.
I just hit the get live post links, where you saw that it posted immediately all the links down here. And then I hit the get media links, which give me these links down here. Now I'll hit the get last 5 review links, which is posted down here. So what can I do with those? I can, again, export them to a CSV file.
Sheets.
I can send them to the link indexer. So it will post them over here. You can give it campaign name, and then you can use your 500 free allowances per day.
That's Gary's gift to you guys, by the way. That was his idea. We're paying for it. And you can also then, you can do what you're going to do.
Submit here, props. Now it is been submitted for indexing. It says down here in the bottom, status, finish submitting URLs to speed link.
And if anybody finds another indexer that's really, really working cool, remember, we did this to try to help everybody because of the indexing problem with Google, and I think it's probably starting to fade back a little bit in our favor. But we were finding that Speedlinks was doing a pretty good job. Actually, it was doing a better job than the two indexers that Gary and I own, which is Authority Indexer and LSI. So we're going to be launching those pretty soon because we fixed the problems. But in the meantime, we wanted to try to help everybody get their properties indexed as much as possible. So that's why we're giving everybody 500 free links. By the way, it's per day. It's not accumulated. So tomorrow you don't have 1,000. You only have 500. And you can take your sitemap of your website and come in here and link every one of your pages by utilizing the free 500 here today. It's not just for this process. You can use it for anything that you want to try to help your indexing process, okay? And then my favorite.
So all these links that we now have imported, we can send them to Sheets. And what it does, it creates a Google Sheet where you can put in a keyword-rich title to it. You can put in your main keywords.
So there are some people who don't know what we're doing because they're not part of Ranking Factory. So
yep.
I just want, for those of you that are here and don't know what this is, as Gary would say, get your depends on.
There is a little thing that we're missing here. It should actually put in the NAP of the GMB, which it could take from up here, but I'll get Chris to sort that out.
Okay.
But generally what we'll do, we'll put in the NAP here.
So that,
and you'll put in all the descriptions, keywords, links you have up there, but keywords you will stuff in here.
Right.
Right. You can save that as well as you could for the blogger. So if you hit save, it will just save it on your local computer. You can then load it later if you want, and then you can go and upload it. And then we have a little nice facility, which is called Translation Multiplier. So because we are living in Florida, we go and we'll translate this to Spanish and maybe Portuguese, and maybe there are a few Russians living there now. So we will translate it to Russians as well. And then I can go and see how will my sheet look like when I post it. So here I have my first keyword and my secondary keyword, and here I have all the links. And when you're finished and you upload it, you'll see the published link, which you then can put into our other tool, which is called the iframe tool, and then embed it in your blogger, in your other properties as you like.
So here's a question, and don't lie to me. I'm not looking at any names. How many people are using this function right now within the GMB poster? Give me a 1 for yes and a 2 for no, and a 3 for I'm an idiot and I'm going to start. Ah, there's an honest man, 2 honest men, 3 honest men. This is off the charts, guys. There's so much power behind this. It is absolutely crazy. Yeah, well, Rusty's a 1, but we know he's a little off the beanie paths anyway. But can you guys see how powerful this can be? Especially when you're anchor texting all of your keywords to your link and then changing those into, you know, any language that you want just that quickly, right? And this is very, very highly effective for your keyword linked to your money site. Clint, are you using this part of it as well. I didn't see you reply to me. But yeah, this is extremely powerful, guys. Insanely powerful. Not right now, but I'm going to, right? You're not missing anything, Tim, in the pro version versus the agency, and you are seeing the agency team builder up there. That is the version that you use if you have an agency and have VAs who are doing some of the posting and working for you. Otherwise, ignore that up there because it's all the same function. The only thing, well, Heinrich, you can explain that a little better.
Well, what we have the possibility to do is to add VAs into the system, so you will be able to look at what they call team accounts post, so you can see what your VAs has scheduled for the future. So it grabbed the scheduled post from the VA and consolidate that into the team accounts post, so you have an idea of what's going on a particular GMB. So that's basically what it does. So you can set up as many VAs as you like, but you need a license for each VA. The agency version comes with one VA account, and then you can add on to those as you like.
Yeah, let's not spend too much time on that. It just wanted to answer the question.
Yeah, let's go back to the next little thing that we need to go over today. That's the reviews. And what we do, we are pulling in the reviews from the GMB. And when you click out here, you'll see you will be able to view that particular review, and you will be able to respond to the review, and you send your reply by hitting the send reply button. Simple. And you should actually answer or give a reply to all the reviews that you're getting. And there you have the possibility to stuff in a little bit of
juice
keywords as well. Isn't that cool, guys?
So within the review area here, how much importance does Google give us for actually replying to those reviews, as opposed to what most people do is they don't ever reply to a review, especially if it's a good one. The only time that they may reply is if it's a bad one, right? So by doing this, you're doing what? More than the next guy. And every item that you're using here is doing more than the next guy. So it's going to help you keep up there. And then when you use Ranking Factory to bombard all of these things with the Ranking Factory links, that's why, it goes, excuse me, hand in hand, working together. Yes, it is being recorded. GMBfactory.com. Okay.
Didn't you say that would be pay-per-view?
Yeah, pay-per-view. How do I get reviews to pull in again? Please show that again.
You simply, it's no, when you go up to this, so I'll take, this one has no review, right? So I go down and click reviews here. It hasn't loaded because of cooler, but normally what you will see is that whenever you choose this one, it will go down and upload the reviews that's made for this particular one. See, they have one review here, right? That's the neighbor. Ocean's Landing. We'll go query the API, and it will load the reviews. As simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
But because this is a Windows-based program on a local computer, it will have to query the API each time. So you have to be a little bit patient, because we're getting all the data, we are sorting the data, and we are. So down here at the bottom, you can see it's still working on finding the reviews.
Sometimes it takes a while. Steve, if you're having a problem with yours, just let us know, and we'll see what's cooking with that. But most everybody's having not much of a problem.
Normal, it's either a communication problem or that you haven't set up your API keys properly.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask Terry real quick, about the reviews and the replies to the reviews. Terry, are you using them, and what kind of response are you getting, or just what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, always use always respond to reviews. If you're running a GMB for a business, this is part of your when you bring on the business. Do you reply to them? Do you let them know about it so they can reply? I generally do. If it's a simple review, I'll do the reply. If they have specific things that either went perfectly or went wrong, I'll ask the business owner who would know the specifics versus just a general, appreciate your review. We hope next time you're in town, you tell your friends or whatever. But these reviews and the ability to reply are all part of a Google platform. And generally, when Google gives you things in a platform, they like it if you use it. So that's why you're using that business site. That's why you're using this GMB posts. These are things Google put out there. They want you to use them. If you don't, they don't think as highly of you as the people that do. So use them.
Right. What are some of the things that you use the most within here? Are you just kind of using everything across the board?
Well, the poster, siloing my posts is the main super advantage. I can do posts manually, but I cannot silo them manually unless I want to go back in every time after my one post tomorrow at 9 in the morning. I have to log back in to get that URL to post another one with that URL as the link, and so on and so forth. Whereas with this silo, it will set it up and take care of it as it goes. So I can literally walk away, come up here to Mom's for a week and not have to post anything if I don't want to. Great time saver, and makes my time more efficiently.
Makes your time more effectively and efficient and awesome. So you can go do more things like be in the local theater, ride your motorcycle, go see your mom.
Yeehaw.
All right, cool, man. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Henrik, I missed the first half hour, but I've still seen some nuggets already. So good job.
Thank you.
Okay. Any questions so far that we need to go over? Do a 360 tour. Oh, that'd be interesting. Image tour. Sure. All right. Go ahead, Henrik. Sorry.
No, I'm more or less finished with what I want to show today and what my back can handle at the moment. So.
Okay.
We did the reviews. We have looked at the GMB URLs. We have looked by post by accounts, the schedule posts. So we're more or less covered whatever we need to cover today, I think. So any more questions?
If you got them now, say them, because we want to go over the questions, making sure that we don't leave anybody behind. So you're saying now I can drive Mom to the theater on my motorcycle? Tim, exactly. Exactly correct. You got it. And how much fun would that be, right? Okay. I'm going to give you guys a couple extra seconds here to write any questions or anything you want Henrik to go over again, very simply. And we'll take a shot at that. I do have a couple. Can you help me can you help me understand the silo and the last link business, the last link portion of that? What does that mean? Silo and last link.
Yeah. Just a second. As I said before, the silo thing was devised by Marco from Semantic Mastery. And the basic idea is that you have a keyword at top of your silo that you want to rank for, and then you have a supporting keyword in the next post that you are linking up to the keyword that you want to rank for. So here's the supporting keyword 1, and you supporting keyword 2. So supporting keyword 2 will link up to supporting keyword 1, which will link up to the post, which is the keyword that you're trying to have on top of your silo. So by that, you actually tell Google that all these posts that is interconnected, they have the same topic, the same theme that you're trying to promote. And whenever you give Google something that is structured for them, they like it. So just to so I hope you get the point of that's the basic idea of creating a silo. A silo could be whatever relates to your GMB. That could be a product silo. That could be location-based information that you want to stack. Maybe that's a better word to use for it. You're actually stacking the keywords up into the major keyword that we want to rank for, which link out to your money site.
Okay. Gary, does that help you better understand that, my friend? Okay, great. At the very beginning, when you were starting to set up the silos, and you created a new silo and you called it OL-something, and there were other various letters in there. It was confusing. What did the OL stand for?
That's the basic idea is that because at the moment we have the silo names as a global facility for the poster, I will have to consider the name of the location that I'm trying to create a silo for. So in this instance, I said OL for Oceans Lending, and then I put in the name of the silo. That could be maybe products or whatever I want to stack. And that becomes my silo name, which I will be able to choose in the drop-down list. So that's what will be.
So it just becomes an identifier is what you're saying, right?
It's an identifier for it. So you can see here I have OL Q&A, which means Ocean Lending Q&A posts, which is linked to each other, stacked up. And because I already have a post in that series, it will give me the last link here. That's the one which is put in here. So you don't have to figure out what was the last link in the series of posts that you're creating.
And that's what Terry was just talking about, right?
Yeah.
Got it.
That's the automation process of it. We will move this link now into the text section, so you will be able to add a button and have that button pointing to a money site or an offer or whatever you have. So we don't occupy this link space and call to action opportunity, but we'll stack the link into the post in itself.
Okay.
Patrick, this allows you, if you have a pet store, to have a silo of posts related to the food you carry, a silo related to the toys you carry, maybe a silo related to the grooming accessories or something like that. So even though you're posting, you can post several times a day, but only one of them has to do with your dog food, one of them has to do with your training, One of them has to do with toys. So you can schedule it all to go in that right silo once you've created the first page or the first post for that given silo and named it.
So you can really compartmentalize your silos right down to the specifics.
Yep.
Yeah, for each keyword you want to focus on.
Right.
Then you got sub keywords under that will go to that silo versus the next one.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's pretty. I mean, that's very intense, really, because you're not scattered all over the place. You're very targeted in what you're talking about. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Mention how many posts that can be made per day. Anthony, I think we talked about that a little bit earlier. Does Google allow us 4 posts a day or 4 posts a week?
Google allows 4 posts per day. When you hit the 5th post, you get a red warning saying rejected. But I think that post regularly is better than the quantity. So instead of posting 4 posts per day each day, maybe spread it over a period of time. So you have a lot of activity, because what Google looks at is the activity on the GMB. So if you fire all that activity in one day, you don't get so much love from Google as if you spread it over a period of time. But of course, you could do 4 posts per day, 4 days a week, or 5 days a week, or 7 days a week if you like.
You could, right?
You just need a lot of material.
Right, exactly. And quite frankly, if you take a look at the average of what most people do versus what you're going to do, you don't have to do everything that you can do to be way ahead of what everybody is doing. That makes sense?
Look at the insights and see, for instance.
That's a good idea. Go ahead and look at them. We were going to do that anyway.
The competitors, they will maybe not have posted any photos whatsoever. If you look at their knowledge panel, you'll see they have not done any post whatsoever. They just created and verified the GMB. So just this single little step that you're starting posting regularly to the GMB, you're ahead of the competition.
Sure. Okay. So here's a question. What's the best way to get reviews for a GMB? Ask your customers.
To get the juice?
No, to get reviews.
Get reviews? Yeah. The best way, of course, that whenever you have a customer, you ask him to provide a review and send him a review link. So, for instance, we are gonna build in a review link generator into the poster in itself, so that you just hit a button and then you get a review link, and that could be sent by email to your customer or by any communication means in principle. But you have to get the review as soon as you can from the customer while he has his positive experience in mind. So I know that certain restaurants has an iPad actually on the entrance. So leave a review here, get a drink or whatever.
Yep.
Next time you see us, if it's an auto dealership or whatever, you'll find other means that get a free oil change next time, or whatever they can offer as a teaser for getting those reviews.
Mm-hmm. Bribe them, but get it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you quickly, for a couple of people that came in late, very, 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 very quickly, just go over the RSS generator?
Basically, what I do is grab an RSS link, an RSS feed link that I want to.
Grab it from where? Where are you getting this RSS link?
The RSS feed I'll get from FeedBurner, or generate one, or go to a site and
Grab
see
theirs, whatever, right?
grab their RSS feed. Normally
Mhm.
it will be their website /feed. That will be enough, and then you just put it in here. Blop. You see this is a FeedBurner feed. Get feed from, and it will go and get that feed.
Okay. And then the idea behind getting that feed with that content that you're seeing is what?
Well, that gives you some content ideas for your post. So if I'm in the business of having Google My Business, I will look at this, what has been posted, what has Mike Blumenthal posted about this and this and that. And I say, well, this one might be a good idea to expand on. So I will send that to my What's New. And I will go in and I might curate it a little bit. So I'll give my own opinion on it and say, okay, Mike from this blog had found this on blah, blah, blah. And then I will give it a conclusion in the post, and I'll post that to my GMB. But I'll source him properly. So.
Mm-hmm. Valerie, does that help you understand that a little better, sweetie?
Post it there and then get the link to the website.
All right, cool. Thanks, Valerie. All right. Any last questions here before I go into asking Heinrich to look at insights?
I'm not looking at insights today.
You're not? Okay. Well, I guess it takes care of that.
Because the insight will be in one of the next versions that's coming up.
Okay, that's next week?
I think it'll be finished next week, yeah.
Okay. All right, well, that's great. Golly, we're only at an hour 30 minutes here. Let's go. Come on. Who's got some more questions? No better time than to ask them now, whether you're new, whether you've been here, whether you don't understand something, whether you don't even have the GMB poster, but looking at the possibilities of it and getting any great ideas. Gary says that he made 6 posts in the last 30 minutes while you were talking.
He's not attentive to my webinar. What the heck?
He has attention deficit disorder. So he's listening and posting at the same time. I mean, how cool is that, guys? I mean, seriously, right? Okay. You guys are inspiring me to action. Awesome. Cool. All right. I'm going to knock this off if we don't get any other questions. I mean, now's the time. If you don't understand something, you want us to go over it real quick. Also, I just want everybody to know, and you guys got to give Henrik a really, really big hand and applause here, because he's actually standing up doing this entire webinar for us, because his back hurts and he can't sit down. So that's how much that he cares about what we're doing and our commitment to getting this information to you in a timely manner and on schedule as we're supposed to. Rain, snow, sleet, and pain could not keep him away today. Okay, Burns asking a question. How does a client give me the data to manage him on a GMB poster?
Could you repeat that? Sorry?
How does a client give me the data to manage him on a GMB poster? He makes you the manager through his GMB.
Yeah. So he will go into his GMB, down into the user section.
Let's pay attention to this.
And he will add you as a manager to the
to the GMB, right?
to the GMB. Yeah.
So once you're the manager, then you can actually do all the work that he could have done on his behalf. Okay.
I have to log into another account too.
What data does he need? That's another question. Well, we kind of went over everything that we're posting.
The to make you a manager, he only needs your GMB, your Gmail account that you will need, you want to use for posting, right? So when he adds you down here, there'll be a possibility for a plus up here, because I'm not allowed to add other managers to this account with this Gmail account. So when he adds you, you accept it in your Gmail, and then you go into the GMB poster, add Google accounts, and then you just add the Gmail account that you have and click add new, and then the software will ask you to authorize you to use the API and the API and various aspect of the GMP. So it's simple. So this will be your email that you want to use for managing the client's account. You go in and add that, click add, and when you have become a manager of the GMB, it will just show you the information up in the sections up here, the location.
When you give him that account, Henrik, and we've talked about this before, do you give him your account that you're always using, or do you just go ahead and create a new account, new Gmail account to be used for this purpose?
I normally have a few Gmails which I'm using to segment my clients, but I have, let's say, one Gmail account that will take hold of a certain portion of my clients, and another one will take hand of a few others. So I actually try to avoid that. If I'm doing something wrong and they suspend my Gmail account, first of all, not using the client's Gmail account, that will keep that GMB intact, and it will only hurt my own Gmail account, which doesn't have any GMB as such in itself, but only has the manager role of GMBs. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So cool, Raphael. Thank you. Just a question for all of you guys that are out there. I'll get back to that in a second, Gary. For all of you that are out there managing and doing this work for your clients, once again, I don't care about names or whatever. Can you give me a rough indication for those that are here who don't know? What are some of the ranges that you charge your clients to do, the posting and, all the things that you see within, this product? What would be a good, fair, average price that somebody new coming into this would go and try to extract from a new client? Somebody throw some numbers at me and why. Okay. I can tell you right now, we charge $2,500 a month for mortgage companies. Because why? We can get it. Why? Because they make that off of one loan. Okay. There's a difference, like Doss says, roofers or lawyers, nail salons or car dealerships, right? A lot of it, if you want to just try to get into the business, go for $300. Deep pockets make a difference, Doss says, right? So the reason I asked that question is that I would get a range of anywhere from $200 or $300 to $2,000 or $3,000 a month. And it really just depends on the value of the customer, okay, that you're getting. One of the things that you could do is, and I can't tell you where to go, but you could go to Angie's List, and you could, there is a list somewhere, maybe somebody has it and can post it, what they charge per lead, okay, just from Angie's List. And those are not exclusive leads, to my understanding. They're shared leads. So if you can go and find out what an average buyer of that lead would be paying for their industry, multiply that times the amount of calls that you might be able to generate for them, which is the same as a lead from Angie's List. It's nothing more than a call from someone that's interested in their business. That might be a good way to kind of figure out what's a good charge. Okay? Google paid ads, amounts per click. In other words, if you go to a plumber, how much is a plumber paying for a click? My plumber was paying upwards of $30 a click. Mobile's a little bit more. Okay? So, you know, how many clicks does it take for a plumber to get, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How many clicks does it take for a plumber to get before he actually gets a sale? Or a roofer, or a nail salon, or whatever. Utilize those, you know, as a, you know, health insurance pays $25 a lead, convert 1 out of 3. That's $75 just to get 1 lead. How many, you know, can you provide them with the GMB per month, right? So it's a hard question to answer, but logically, I think it can become a pretty easy question to answer along the way, right? Does that make sense? And here's the other thing, and maybe Terry and both Henrik can answer this. Okay, so Terry, I'm going to ask you first. How much more time does it take you within this process of the poster and all of the things that we have? How much more time does it take you to get somebody in the 3-pack, whether or not they're a lawyer or whether or not they're a plumber?
Well, of course, it depends on the geo area and stuff like that. But it's not difficult to look at the more places button and see just how competitive the spots 4 through, you know, whatever are,
16 or whatever, yeah.
and have an idea of what you're going to have to do. But if you've got this GMB poster, and then you can run your links through RFR, you know, you're definitely going to be able to rank. Like I said, the time is just going to depend on what the competition is doing and has done.
So basically the answer is, if you have an opportunity to mind meld your process into what you want to go after, you really want to kind of go after, in this case, the higher paying businesses that make a lot more money per client than the lower hanging fruit, like a nail salon that makes $7 for every $30 nail they do, right?
Right, especially if they're sitting at 4 or 5. So you don't have that far to push them up to get to top 3.
Exactly, right? You just picked up, because they used to be in the 5-pack, right? Maybe. So they know how much business they've lost by not being in the 3-pack, but they used to be in the 5-pack. So position 4 and 5 are, like you said, very, very, very critical businesses to go after as key targets, right?
Definitely,
So,
definitely.
You know, for us, I like to go after, you know, we're building a whole campaign around mortgage companies because I like $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month. I need 5 of those clients at $400 a month.
Yeah, but the competition in the financial industry is more tough than if you go after a roofer or some of the other local service companies.
Right. But once you get in there and you break it, it's no tougher than the rest of them because you have the process. You know what you're doing. You know exactly how to do it, right?
That's
And
correct.
if you focus on that niche, you've got content you can cross post between different companies that are still significant and relative to their offerings.
Exactly. And content isn't necessarily a problem, especially now that we put in the RSS feed generator, idea generator rather, right?
Yep.
So, okay, Heinrich, I'm probably gonna close this thing down and let you go have another cocktail.
I will take the pink cocktail and get to bed. It's 11 p.m. over here now, so good night, everybody.
All right. Yeah, let's not even ask for any more questions. Let's just say thanks, and we'll break this up. Karen will break this up into at least 2 or 3 pieces for the different aspects that we went on. So, so did anybody learn anything today? Give me a 1 if you learned something, or 2 if we just like to talk. Everybody learned something, right? Okay. Cool, man. How many people learned something that are not and have not bought the poster yet? Was it valuable for you guys to come and just see what we're doing and maybe take some tips away for yourself? Right? And I know there's people in here that don't have it, but we wanted you to come and, pick our brain anyway, right? That's what we're all about. Cool. All right, guys. Thank you very much. And Henrik, when are we going to do the next one?
Next year?
Next year.
That will be no. On Monday at 11 o'clock.
Monday at 11 o'clock, right?
That's still this year.
That's still this year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nah.
No. Yeah. It's New Year's Eve. I think everybody is out celebrating that. I was just joking.
Yeah. We'll probably do it. We'll send you the time for next week, right?
Yep.
Talk to you about Content Factory. Oh, absolutely. Talk to me about any factory you want. Just hit me up on Skype, Patrick Tuttle, lowercase, no spaces. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Have a great rest of your week. Be safe for the New Year's, and we hope and pray that everybody had an awesome, wonderful Christmas with your family, and everybody's blessed. All right. See you guys. Thanks. Thanks, Terry. Thanks, Henrik.
Thank you. Take care.